Hey guys, Zan here, and I want to quickly show you how I made my song Make Me. So I just released a song and I'm really proud of it, but I want to show you how I made it. And it's really simple, I'll be honest. The big thing that you probably will be listening for is the chord stacks, and so let's start there. Here's how they sound. Sorry about that, it was a little loud at first. I eventually turned it down. But how do we make them? Well, let's do a few things. Let's take a look. First, I have a lead at the top here. It's to kind of create a melody between the chords and the notes. The next I have is a clean saw, which is pretty standard. Nothing crazy there. From there, I have a detuned saw, which is using the MIDI in is from the clean saw, so it's using the same notes as the clean saw. So here's how it sounds. That's to provide some width, and then I have this vocal pad, which I love to provide width as well. Alright. Next, I have a mid bass to provide some grit. It also provides a little bit of movement in the song. And then I have a sub. Pretty standard stuff. It's a sub. Wow, sub. White noise to fill out some of the higher frequencies. And the reason you do white noise over, let's say, a synth is because the synths get really piercing at those higher frequencies. So the white noise really fills it out nicer. And here's how it sounds all together. Really full, really wide sounding. It sounds pretty epic, right? Really happy how it turned out. Next, I have a few synths I used. Not much, as you can see, and it worked really well. First, I have an organ sound. Ableton stock organ. I then have a pad for atmosphere. I then have the ARP, which you hear, which is a sound created in Massive. And then I have a piano, which is just on the build-up / bridge areas. Pretty standard stuff, nothing too crazy there. And then I have the plucks, which you hear throughout the song, and especially in the chorus, kind of provide the lead melody. So you will hear that, listen to that again. And here's the first pluck. It's kind of wide sounding. The next I have is this pluck, which is like bit crushed. And it provides, I only do it on the chorus so that it provides a little extra oomph on the chorus for that pluck to really stick through. Without it, I feel that this pluck up here would be kind of lost, maybe not as up front in the mix. So it really helps it stick out. The glitch is a few sounds. That's just a factory sound I found on YouTube, and then this that make me is just a text to voice that I found online. Input make me, download it, cut it up, and then just change the pitch and tone and cut it up, and it kind of makes the glitchy sound. Next, drums. For the drums, again, simple. It really is a simple song. The ghost kick, which affects the compressor, which you can see right here, and right here, compressed. All right, it's the ghost kick. The kick I made in Kick 2. It's my own. I really like it. Go ahead and steal it. The snare, again, Kick 2. I made it. It's actually still in Kick 2. I didn't render it. I didn't freeze it. Ooh, a lot of reverb. I could freeze it. I may do that. The hats, just standard hats, really. The key with hats is the velocity. Making sure that they kind of have a groove to them. And then I have a ride right here. Nothing weird. And then a hammer. A hammer sound off of YouTube, which I just pulled off of YouTube. It's just a hammer hitting an anvil. And it... Whoops. You can barely hear it, but it's so subtle. It adds a little extra cool noise nugget for you. So you can barely hear it, but it just adds that little extra kind of cool sound to it. And then I have an impact for impacts, reverse piano, and voiceovers from the movie Blade Runner, which I use on the verse right here to provide some extra texture to that verse and kind of make it sound a little different. Overall, the song, as you can see, is really simple, but that's fine. As long as it sounds good, doesn't matter how complicated it is. And I hope, you guys use this as an example to, complicated doesn't always equal better. Keep that in mind. But I'm really happy with how the song turned out. If you want to know how I made anything real specifically, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. You can download the project though on Splice. The full project file is up and I'll provide a link to that. So thanks guys, and I hope you learned something.